guys, welcome back to yet another episode of Heartbeats and Hope. Welcome to the very last of the year. We're excited to have you. Thank you for being here, sticking with us all the way from the time we began up to this moment. Thank you for loving on us, for liking, for sharing, for subscribing, for being here every other month. Thank you for keeping the vibe. Thank you for those of you that meet me on the way and greet me and tell me I'm watching, I'm following. Thank you for those that comment. It means so much. You have no idea what it actually really means in my heart, but I appreciate you. And here we are once again. It is December. Happy December. Happy end of year. Yes, so today we are continuing with our series, our mental health series. Like you all know, we have been doing mental health series from the month of October through November, and this is December. And I hope you've been blessed by the previous ones. I actually know you were blessed by the previous ones if you really watched them. And I believe you'll be blessed again. So today I am excited to have a conversation that I've really wanted to have for a long time. I just didn't yet have the one liberty to, but to the right visitor for the podcast. And today we are going to be talking about the pressure to look perfect. Now, once again, it is a mental health series, so we are looking at that in the line of mental health. And like we saw in last month's episode about how social media puts you on pressure and a lot of comparison here and there. And today we are specifically going to talk about our hearts and our minds and that thing that enters us and says, I need to look a certain way. Before we look at the one who is looking perfect and putting us on pressure, the thing that causes you, the thing that puts you on pressure and puts that thing that I have to create a certain image X, even when perhaps you've not yet attained that particular image. But before I continue, I am very excited to introduce our visitor today, a very good friend of mine. Yes, I'll allow her to introduce herself because if I continue, I might shed a tear. Over to you, please.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Mugela, Dr. K, I think, on the podcast. I am very happy to be here. My name is Komudisha Anita, and I am your good friend, as introduced. I grew up here. I grew up in Bushenyi, went to school together, went to mass together, and I am now working as a drilling engineer with Sinok Uganda. I think those are and I am born again. Yeah, it is the lens through which I see life.
Yeah, she also happens to be my maid of honor.
Yes, I am.
When I was getting married, I'm yet to revenge. But yeah, I would like you to let us know more. I know you went through it so fast, but what do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah, what is a drilling engineer? What is Sinok Uganda? What is... Let people know your importance, my friend.
Really? So what do I do? I am a drilling engineer. That is a profession in the oil and gas industry. And drilling engineers are part of the entire ecosystem that makes it possible to explore, develop, and export or utilize petroleum resources. So drilling engineers are in the part of development. We are the ones who you will find on site when they say that you have drilling operations. So when you go to Kingfisher or you go to Tilenga or anywhere in the world where they have drilling operations active, that is the drilling of wells. That's where you'll find the drilling engineers, or in offices doing simulations, etc. So that's in general the work that you'd find me in. Or actually, like professionally, what my certificate from university says is petroleum engineering and environment management.
That's what we know now. That's what we know. I was
Yeah.
saying, wait, all along I don't know what you do.
Right?
I'm discovering on air.
I know.
No, I knew she was a
Life.
drilling engineer, but I know someone thought, I thought you were just a petroleum engineer. Well,
Yeah.
yes, I emphasized what you do because it is important for the context of this podcast today. So we live in a generation where, or stroke, we are at an age where we have just, like in the other podcast of October, I think, we were talking about adulting.
Yeah.
So we're at a point where we have ascertained, anyway, you and I know some people are watching and they're still in university or high school, and that's okay. But we have ascertained some careers.
Yeah.
We have just gotten into the workspace. We have just gotten married for some of us. And there is a pressure to look the part.
Yeah.
Now, I believe you all know I'm a medical doctor by profession, and she's an engineer, and those are two of the professions that tend to carry a lot of pressure from society.
Yeah.
Why? Because as we grew up, we used to hear you're either an engineer or a doctor or a lawyer, or so sometimes being in the traditional careers tends to come with an innate pressure because the world expects you to be making it. What do you understand by the pressure to look perfect, and how does that relate to you, firstly as a petroleum engineer? And you could be an alien conversation or you probably can say, well, I've been there.
Yeah.
Please share with us.
The pressure to look perfect. I like the sentence that you used, that there is a pressure to look the part. That yes, you are, you have you have attained an identity through a process that you have gone through. And career-wise, that would be your education, your training. You actually are a doctor. You know how to treat people. You know what it takes. For example, well, in my profession in particular, you learn a lot of things when you start to work. You really learn a lot more in the field. But by the time you left university, you actually are that thing that they are calling you. But then there comes it's not enough to just practice your duty at work and deliver work, but there's the societal part of an engineer should, for example, drive this or should wear this. Engineer, akaka kitoshkua jwara, translated to mean engineer. What kind of like they're not just saying Anita, that shoe is not right. It's engineer. Like, we have expectations of you. So I think for me that would be the definition of the pressure to look perfect, or the pressure to act the part. Like, yes. And the experience I would have as a petroleum engineer is and a lot of friends that I know will probably laugh the next time they meet me after they watch the podcast, but is every time someone hears petroleum, the next thing that they will say is money. Yeah, so there's always, so in our world, what proves that someone has money, like, and when I say that, I think now of all these other things that people have, there's something that my pastor says about money, that money is not loud. Yeah. But in our world, there are things that are expected.
There'll be signs.
Yeah, there'll be signs. So I think that's one of the pressures, that you need to look
like you have money.
You need to look like you have money. You need to, like, for you to arrive and they ask, what profession does she do, and things like that. So I think in my experience, it is that you will hear a lot. There are things that people expect you to look like and have, and so
things like
So if you're a petroleum engineer, I don't think people have actually or have interacted with people who say you should have this and this and this. It's just that your imagination
Yes.
plays the part of telling you what you should have. Because growing up, for example, to know that someone has money or is wealthy, you'd say they're driving this kind of car.
Or they are driving at all.
Yes. They have a country home and a town home. If they go to a restaurant, they're the ones picking up the tab, they're picking the bill. I eat here and I eat here. You know, like the more, so when we'd see people do that, like you're eating out, you're buying this, you're doing that, you're traveling, that's how we would say, the other people's home, do you know their father is rich?
Yeah.
Yeah, so those things that we would look at and say this, or even in high school, let's go to the simple things. Like of how did we know kids in school had more money? You know, who has the conflicts? Like they look like very small things, but it is what like people are looking at, or you are looking at in your mind. You've taken it as a perception of, if people are to know that I have money, or if I'm to feel rich, then I'm doing certain things, etc.
Or people know that I am a petroleum engineer and therefore I should be driving even when I am not ready to drive.
Yeah.
But how do I tell people that I'm not ready to drive when I'm a petroleum engineer?
Yeah, like what do you mean? You have excess money.
They think you have excess money.
Yeah.
Even when you look at yourself,
Yeah.
you're like, no, at this point of my life, I am not yet ready
Yes.
to own a car
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
But because the world says you are a petroleum engineer, like, why are you not driving? And
Like, give us a reason.
exactly. And also,
Yeah.
realize that you brought it in very well. The pressure is mostly in your mind.
Yes.
While some people, maybe you see a workmate who is driving and you know your paychecks are the same.
Yes.
And maybe you have one who is building, and maybe you have one who is, has bought land, has
Yeah.
bought a whale in home of oil.
He's getting married, he's arranging a wedding. Yeah.
Yes. And then you feel like as if everyone who sees you sees that you're doing less than your
Less.
colleague.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to say, okay, if so and so is driving, I need to prove that I am driving. But today, before we got on set, I was thinking about the fact that I drive to work
Yeah.
because my husband has a car. And my workmate might want to drive tomorrow
Yes.
when they just started working 3 months ago. They have not, they still have more priorities other than driving. And then they are saying, no, my colleague drives, so I should drive. So we have many priorities, but
Yeah.
yet the pressure inside is still saying, no, we should do this. I should
Yeah.
look this way.
There's actually another thing that came to mind as you spoke, and even before we get to the part where, because I watched the October episode, and one of those things about mental health that challenges young people is the financial part, because it's everywhere that you go. But even, for example, employment, like when you tell someone I studied medicine, and then you want to ask them about employment, I am looking for a job, there are people that may find it difficult to say I studied medicine and I'm looking for a job.
Yes.
Because you think like people won't understand you.
Yeah, people think if you studied this course, a
You
job
should
should be
never-
obvious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or they say you're an engineer. What? And then you tell them, oh, I'm looking for a job. I am looking for work. Can you recommend me? And someone will look at you like, how can you look for a job as a civil engineer?
Or it is going to make you feel like maybe your friends who
Yes.
did courses that were not as popular then
Yes.
are doing better,
Better
so you would rather appear
Like
Like-
everything is okay.
like you're doing better than you really are.
Yeah.
But also important to note in this conversation is the fact that it is looking apart. You're looking like you have something.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have it. Now, there
Yeah.
are two people who will both come driving Mercedes Benzes, One is driving their friend's Benz, another one is driving their own Benz. They both are driving Mercedes Benzes.
Yeah.
When they appear at an event, they are both driving Mercedes Benzes.
Yeah.
But the truth is, one of them is driving their car,
Yeah.
another one is driving someone
Someone
car.
else's, yeah.
And you driving someone else's car puts you at risk. It doesn't put anyone else at risk because you could knock with that car.
Yeah.
Anything could happen,
Yeah.
and you have to incur a financial burden that again is going to affect you, not any one person. So that pressure to look perfect affects our mental health, but in most instances is actually from us. It
Yes,
is
we are the
while
ones.
society gives you reason,
Yeah.
there is no one person who goes into your heart and stirs you to pressure.
Yes.
I am going to post my photo because I am happy today.
Yeah.
Well, how you conceive that photo to cause you to want to go and pose for the exact same photo
Yeah.
is again your problem.
Yes.
Now, I think we don't talk about the November podcast, we talked a lot about guarding your heart. And most of the time in our generation, we tend to give the responsibility of everything about our lives to someone else.
Yeah.
People should stop posting about their marriages. They are breaking us mentally. Don't post about your job. You're affecting people who are struggling.
Yeah.
Don't status about how well you're doing or the trip to UK that you had, because what about us? But really, you will always consume information.
True.
How you consume that information is up to you. And now, before we even go any further, I would like us to put the line between the pressure to look perfect and the need to strive for excellence, because we could be talking about this and someone is like, wait, I don't need to drive, I don't need to build, I don't want to have the pressure. But yet, so what is the line between someone who is putting on an image,
Yes.
maybe driving a car that they can't afford yet, and again, only you can know that you can't
That
afford
you
it,
can't afford
because no one knows why, no one knows how well your finances are.
Yeah.
But deep within your heart, you know, I am buying this car because all my friends are driving and I can't be the only one not driving, but financially they can't. And the one who is striving for excellence, because two people might look the same, yet one is putting on an image,
Yeah.
another is authentic.
Yeah.
So what's the line?
What is the line? Two things, I think, which are two things that we were talking about before we came on: the heart and identity. I think, funny enough, the example that came to my mind that defines what the line is back in school. And because we went to the same schools for so many years, I'll say that you are someone that I've watched your entire life be that person that goes back to class and reads, right? And
People didn't know that, but okay.
oh, I would like to tell everyone who Maryhill, we had something called climbing. So Mercy climbing doesn't mean that you would go and receive performance awards in school. And so throughout our high school life, Mercy used to climb. And I'm not going to say the reason why, but she is someone who would go back to class and read.
Sometimes.
Often. In university, Mercy used to read. And I think the pressure to look perfect versus the striving for excellence, yes, like pursuit of excellence, is that there is one who understands that excellence is something that they can attain. They carry the hope and the identity. You've been told by your parents, maybe perhaps your whole life, that you're a smart child. And so you know that it's within your capabilities to be excellent. And so that's why you go to class and you study. But there is someone who admires the life of being able to receive performance awards. You want to be the one on the stage receiving that performance award, but you don't think you have it in you.
And you don't even put in the work for it.
Yes. But if someone gave you a way, if perhaps there was a way in Mary, let me not give that example, but if there was a way for you to get the performance award without, one, having it in your identity or in your heart that you can get it, that it's possible for you to get it, but they gave you a way on the side to get in. That's how I think for me that draws the line between the one who is in the pursuit of excellence because they know it is something they can attain. It is something that is in their reach. They can hope. They can look forward to it, and so they are putting in the work. They are believing. They are showing up in hope of attaining it. And then someone who doesn't carry the hope, but we all want the. We were in a sermon recently where a pastor told us, Pastor Sam Muyinda told us, don't pretend you don't want it. You actually want it. You want to be that person that they're saying, oh, she's so excellent. Oh, and first prize goes to, you know, you want to be that person. You want the good life. Don't pretend you don't want it. And so I feel like the pressure or the person what the difference is that one doesn't have the hope, doesn't think it's within their means. They don't think excellence and putting in the progress, submitting to the progress will get them there, but they still want it. And so if ever there is a way that they can look the part without being it, they'll take it.
You can't imagine what my brain got to the conversation. Guys, she's my very good friend, so we are referring to a lot of conversations of before we got on. But yesterday we were talking about microlocks. And she happens to have spent a year on her microlock journey. She's trying to tempt me into it, but I refuse that temptation. And she was telling me how you can start your journey with artificial lock, like they can add those artificial locks, and you start off looking like you have a lot of hair when you actually don't have a lot of hair. And there is one who will start off with their natural hair, like her, and walk through the journey and get the excitement of, I have come this far. This is, my hair has added an inch and it's looking healthier and all. So that's what I hear, really, that there is one who will put in, and there is no problem by in the hair situation. There is no problem with you having.
These days I'll come when they're here.
Yes, in the hair equation, there is no problem with you adding your extra hair. That's really your personal conviction. But that there is one who will want to go through the process to have the result authentically. There is another who will say, wait, why am I spending 5 years to look like this when I can look like this now? And while it can work in some instances, it does not work in many instances, at least in regards to career and life and success. There is need for a process. So when you were giving the example of climbing, academic being awarded, the point or the aim is the fruit. The aim is that you were read at assembly as the top performing person, or the aim is that you're trending on social media as, you know, the best at whatever you're doing. And that is just the fruit. But that one person is trending because that's who they are. They have strived to go through it. They have done the work. And another one is trending because they look like they have done it. What makes the difference between the two eventually?
Eventually, what makes the difference between the two? It's not who you are. When the storms come and the waves come, that facade wears off. But I think the first thing that also came to mind is you're missing out on so much. Because the daily im- the daily experiences of life that bring us to the place of fruit. Let me actually read it in John 15, where it talks about, I am the vine, you are the branches. I want you to bear fruit that lasts. I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine dresser. Every branch in me that does not bear fruit, he takes away, and every branch that bears fruit, he prunes, that it may bear more fruit. So there is attending, there is, and I believe in our daily experiences, that tending is you showing up, is the progress, is, and if you arrive at the point of fruit, you've missed out. Because, do you know, like, farmers are always in their gardens. My father we grow matoke, and they show up almost every day in those plantations. There's always a weed to remove. And so when I picture that in the idea of me and the Father is the vine dresser, I am a part of the vine. So if I show up only at the point of fruit, I'm missing out on what it does to me and my person, for the Father, to allow myself to be with the Father like that every day. I am missing out on the experience of God making me, because I'm like, God, honestly, I don't want to be with you like that, but I want the fruit. And God being the Father, it's like, there are people who have the fruit, like, who, for example, are already born with the fruit of the things that maybe we desire in our hearts. Like, they already have those things. But even to those people, God spending time with them makes it more beautiful. So for me, the first consequence that comes is you are missing out on what it means for God to cultivate these things in you, for you to experience Him daily, and to come to the place of fruit. It's a greater reward to walk with God through. That the fruit is like a remembrance of all these places you've walked through with God, and it makes the world a more beautiful place. Because there are people who tell you, for example, like, why are you reading? But it makes daily life a more fulfilling thing, because it doesn't feel like, okay, so what if someone just came and gave you everything that you want to look like but are not? Like, they've given you all the cars, all the money, all the results, all the awards. There's still an emptiness that will remain, because you don't know the one who cultivates those things in you and brings them out of you authentically.
Authenticity, wow.
Yeah.
But also that brings the question of the place where there is one who, okay, we are looking at the fruits at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But there is one who planted their beans,
Yes.
went back every day,
Yes.
watered the beans,
Yes.
and then saw them bud, saw them green,
Yes.
saw them dry,
Yes.
harvested them.
Yeah.
Then there is one who didn't plant the beans,
Yeah.
and then comes and is excited about there is something that our pastor always says, that mastery is for you to be able to replicate what you have done,
Yes.
and teach another to do it.
Yeah.
So the verse that you read also said that when He prunes you, then you earn
bear
more,
more.
you bear more. So you might look like, when you've not gone through the process,
Yes.
you are setting yourself to the highest you could ever be.
Yes.
Because if you just are showing the fruit without an ability, or without a way that you can be pruned to earn more, it means you will just always have to appear
Yes.
whichever level you want, but you will never actually be what you should be.
Yes.
You will be excited. You know, the things that excite people and don't excite you because you have been there. I'm going to use an example of flights, for example. you find that someone is so excited because they're going to fly.
Yes.
And another is like, damn, I have a flight.
Yes.
My flight is at midday.
Yeah.
I'm very busy.
Yeah.
One is looking at this as, I've made it in life.
Yes.
Another is, it's just a means of transport.
Yeah.
And
just to add to that is that it then becomes frustrating and painful for you to encounter people who feel like flying is a means of transport. Because then you're like, it's something that I wrote about recently, and I was saying that you will be frustrated if the end in itself is the entire journey. Because you will encounter, because in itself it has no ability to fulfill you.
The process
is who you
really
become
fulfill.
in the process, or what is the purpose of you flying somewhere, what is the purpose of you being in a certain country, because there are people who were born in that country. I went to such a beautiful place. When we were somewhere studying. We went for school. And then I realized there are people who live here.
Yes.
Every morning they wake up and they're in this place. And so when you have made the fruit, the pressure to look perfect, like if perfection is the entirety, if people seeing that you look perfect is the entire purpose of your doing anything, it will be frustrating, because when you get that thing that you always wanted, and you realize it's just a thing,
yes,
you're the one that is giving it life. If the plane had no people to carry, no people with a purpose to go to a place, it's just a piece. It's a beautiful work. It's a machine. It's machinery, but it has no life until you enter it and say, I need to be in Uganda I need to go and meet Dr. Mercy in Uganda.
I need to save time.
Yes, I need to save time to get to this place. And then the other thing I thought of what is the consequence of appearing perfect is that sometimes appearing perfect puts us in bondage. You are bound to the fruit. And it can be a prison, because you say, today I am going to touch a sensitive part. Let me even put my, like today I wore this kind of clothing and it made me look this way. And so now I can never again go out without wearing that piece of clothing that makes me look this way. You are now, it was a small thing, but you're now bound to it. You're bound to the result of, you went out and people were like, oh my God, you're so snatched. And now you're bound to people always saying, hey, where is your waist? Did you leave it at home?
or filters on social media.
Oh my God. And there are people who are now afraid to go out,
to walk out,
to meet the people who have met them on social media, because there was a fruit there. But you're beautiful.
Yes.
But my Snapchat is a place I don't go to often. And sincerely, it is because you put on a filter and then you feel like the person that is on the screen is more beautiful than you. So I'm like, you filter. I cancel you. I
outclass them all.
I deliberately go back to the place that has no filter. And like sometimes when I'm taking a picture and I'm like, and I put the filter on and I feel like, that looks better. Sometimes I deliberately go to the place that has no filter. I take the picture and I send it to the person that needs to see it, because I don't want to be bound to that place. And sometimes we've been entrapped in places where you've done something that you don't want to do because you want to look perfect.
Because you want to look the part.
You want to look the part. And the thing that you said about bearing more fruit is, if there's no pruning, it means that the thing you did the first time to look the part will have to be the thing that you continue to do to look the part.
Yes.
So it's not a one-time thing. If you have stolen to look the part, you will need more.
You will need to steal to
Yeah.
look the part.
You can't do it once and be done. No. Yes.
And you talk about, as you're talking, I hear authenticity, really.
Yeah.
I think we are in a generation where we have almost lost that place.
Yeah.
Recently, I was at an event and someone came by, someone we knew from the past, me and my friends. And then we look at this person and we're like, wait, the person on Instagram is so different. Like,
Yeah.
this is the person we know. And somehow, those people you watch, maybe schoolmates or maybe people you have met before in your life,
Yeah.
and you're like, am I the only one who didn't change in this life? Am I the only one whose hair still looks like this, whose skin has
Yes.
not changed?
Yeah.
And then you look at these people's bodies on social media, you're like, where is the estrogen in my body?
What is its duty?
God underdosed it? What is going on?
Yeah.
So we look at the person, we're like, wait, this is the person we remember.
Yeah.
And that alone takes something from them,
Yes.
because they have portrayed someone that, and for us, we know them, we love them, but what about the person who has never met them?
Yeah.
Who will say, that person does not look the way they appear on social media. I do not think it is worth it. I do not think. You see, there is something beautiful about authenticity, but authenticity cannot come without you allowing a certain vulnerability. There is no one single person that is perfect.
No.
And if you portray perfection, earlier we were talking about the fact that she's a successful petroleum engineer, I am a successful medical doctor, I am doing a podcast about career, about life, and maybe I am not doing well in a certain aspect of my life.
Yeah.
You are not asking me about that aspect. I have no need to come to you and portray perfection
In that aspect.
in that aspect.
Yeah.
If I am not if I don't sing, for example, I don't need an AI to make me sound like I can sing. If my workplace or my marriage or something is not working as perfectly as I want it, I am okay being where I am. If I don't want you to see my scars, I'll show you the successes of my life. If your marriage is doing well, tell people about your marriage. Don't act like your career is okay when it is not. Because when you wear, you see the example in the Bible of how Jacob is trying to be Esau. When Jacob needs to be Esau, Jacob has to get Esau's skin.
He does.
His father is not going to lay hands on him and give him a blessing. Actually, recently someone was telling us how he puts on Esau's skin and then he receives a blessing of a hunter, and then he's hunted most of his life. I believe that there was a way Jacob could have received the blessing without appearing like Esau. There was a way. God could not have created Jacob and made him the head of Esau and not created a contingency for how he will receive the blessing. But he thinks the only way I can receive this blessing is by appearing like Esau because my father loves Esau. And now, there is a lot of years that have to be salvaged after him receiving the blessing. He's separated from the family. And yes, in there are also lessons that actually build him into who he is. But at the end of the day, anyways, authenticity, to look who you are, it is beautiful. It is beautiful to be you. We all know that, yes, you dressed up to appear here. But we know that sometimes you're not dressed up like this.
Not every day.
Yes.
We were at a wedding the other day. We don't look like that.
We don't look like that now. Yes.
Yeah.
And I think even the younger generation, the Gen Alpha, it is even a bit worse for them. Like, you actually can be what you are. That is what will sell you. You're not going to appear like me, and then there is actually someone on social media whose entire social media is about the fact that they look like a certain celebrity. Like, that's their niche. She posts videos of haters think I don't look like this person. Someone thinking that I am tying on this person.
Yeah.
Me sweeping to and looking more like this person as I sweep. And I'm like, there is actually that person who is not recording themselves because for them, their identity is their identity. They have made their name. There is no way that person who is a duplicate of this other one can hit a certain fame even in the world because the world does not celebrate duplicates. The world celebrates originals. And maybe you're trying to be like someone else, yet you have something original about you that should cause other people to actually see. There is something in Maryhill that used to happen to me. I remember one time I went and won an award in debate. And then when I came back, over 200 people were joining debate. And in my head, I want to tell them, me winning an award is simply because I am good at debate. You coming here does not mean the award for you is here. You're probably supposed to be somewhere in drama club or in writing. But because you've not had someone in writers win an award, you do not want to be there. You want to be where the fruit looks shiny. Yet the gist is I went to where my strength is.
Your gift,
Find where your strength is and go there. I feel like I've talked a lot. But anyways, so I have a question. How can one maintain the discipline of working hard toward genuine growth and success without getting lost in the performance of perfection?
I think to know that seed time harvest is a law, and that if the inevitable part is the harvest, and it will come.
It will come, yes.
It will inevitably come. And I think the other part that helps, that I've found helpful in my life, is to be surrounded. I know it's definitely the grace of God that has placed the people that are in my life. It has been a lot of grace. But when you're surrounded by people who are comfortable being themselves, and you've seen their stories, you've seen them grow, you've seen them change, it encourages you to know that it's okay. I don't need to do certain things to appear a certain way. I can stay my course. I can grow at my pace. It is okay. I don't need to lie. I don't need to pretend that I am okay. Because the other thing that trying to appear perfect does to you is that you don't have the time to acknowledge the places in you that actually need work, because you're too busy trying to make them look like they're already working. So no one can help you. No one can. And sometimes when we say maybe words like, oh, be surrounded by people who are authentic, you're like, let me first look around who is authentic. But when you start to become, when you say, who am I? Who is Komsha right now? Okay? She's a field person. And that means that on a daily, for example, I wear coveralls and I wear a t-shirt inside my coveralls and I wear safety boots. That's me from Monday to Monday. And when I come back to town, it's possible that maybe I haven't shopped in a while. So maybe you'll see me in a few of the same things that you've seen me in. And so when you are being yourself, and or for example, and who am I? I am someone who I have gone to town, I've found a very beautiful dress and I am putting it on now. I am happy to be wearing this dress and these nice shoes, and I've gone to the salon and I've done my nails. I feel good. I am living life on a day-to-day. As you do that and you're trusting God, because we've been told, pray about your friends, pray about the places that you're going into, your workplaces. When you're living life day-to-day and allowing God to deal with you and help you and say, today, no, don't wear the safety shoes. Or actually clean the safety shoes. You're wearing safety shoes, but you clean them. As you do go through that, you're going to meet people who align with you. and they will encourage you in that process of being able to stay in your growth channel and to mature therein, rather than now being pressured. Like if you are around people that don't know who you are, without knowing it, they will, like if you met people, for example, and you portrayed yourself as someone who never has a hair out of place, or as someone who always, like your pocket that, like, and we are rich,
Let me
we are
give
so
you an
wealthy.
example. An easy example.
Yeah,
One of the people that I went with to primary school
yeah.
reaches high school and says they don't speak Runyankole.
It's tough.
So you have to pretend that you're not understanding whatever is being said around you. You cannot be happy and you exclaim in your local language because wait, did you dream talk in Runyankole?
It's not a tongue of angels that you can say it is by the.
I was like, that girl has energy. Like,
Yeah.
man, for usually when emotions are over, I will switch to my mother tongue.
Yes.
Like it is so
Yeah.
obvious. But you have to switch to English. Like, please continue.
No, but that's really the gist of it. Of if, because we are the body, like even like on the side of the believer, we are the body of Christ. How you come, okorije.
Now you're saying, what did I just say? Sorry, I learned it in a different podcast.
How you present yourself to people is because they're not in your mind. They don't see what you're trying. All they see is is how you have presented yourself. They do not know I want to use the word ethos, but I don't know if it means what I think it means. But they don't see the backstory. They don't see that, they don't see the backstory. They only see what you've presented. And so if you present yourself as like every time someone asks you for cash, for example, you are presenting yourself as someone who, like, and we're not saying generosity is bad. We are generous. We are wealthy. We are rich. But you're also presenting yourself as someone who has like a wallet that has no planning or boundaries. And when people are coming to you, you now feel the pressure to feel like I am that person. But you are now coming to a place where you are maybe borrowing to fund your generosity. But then at home you are angry because you feel like I'm in debt because people think I am this, and you're now trapped in and I have nothing, like, or you're now feeling like I can't go out maybe without putting on some makeup because one day maybe you went out and you had no makeup and people were like,
what is going on here?
But we have to come to that. Like, what helps also is that you present yourself as true as you can. And true doesn't mean that you present yourself looking bad. No. Do the best you can. Be generous. Put on your makeup, put on your lipstick, put on your earrings, and present yourself as you are. Because that then helps you to stay. When you tell someone that, for example, I am saving for something, you don't feel like you're breaking
who they think you are. Yes.
Or when you say, no, I am not able to come to such and such a place, you're not, like, you've portrayed yourself as a fun person, but you've
I never miss a function.
Yes, I never. But if you are scared of heights, you can say, no, I'm not going bungee jumping because I am afraid of heights. Yeah, and it's okay.
Or it is not fitting into my budget now. People are planning a trip to, I don't know,
no guys, sorry.
Zanzibar.
Yeah.
Sorry, I do not have what it takes now. I would love to be there, but now it's not on my priority list. I am working on something.
Yeah.
As you talk, one thing comes into my mind. We recently were from a journey and we were driving and people kept overtaking but one particular person kept like indicating that they want to overtake like the place. You know how someone keeps indicating for a long journey, but there is no way you can let them because like the trucks keep coming, the roads, corners and what. So eventually we are like, let's let this person go. And then as they overtook us, it hit me that that's just how life is. Sometimes you set off earlier than someone and they will overtake you. Sometimes someone will set off earlier than you and you will overtake them. But imagine as you're driving, you never want anyone to overtake you because you're the one who went first.
Yes.
You'd probably get into an accident. You would drive in a speed you have never driven. Your car there are cars that triple your speed limit on your car.
True.
And you just have to know that it is the process. Do you know where you're going? Yes. Keep driving at your pace. Eventually, are you going to reach? Is that Mbara district you're going to shift because you've delayed to arrive in it? No. But if you try to run with the one driving a different car, or perhaps for them, they have called them for their child in hospital.
They have the urgency. They have the grace at that moment to drive at those terrific speeds.
And you're like, no, I am going to prove to them. And guys like it more. Like, I want to overtake. No, I am hitting someone indirectly. But we'll always be like that. There are people, I got married before. There are people who got married before me. There are people who are getting married after me. There are people you got a job before who will get a job tomorrow and they are doing the things you so much. Or perhaps do things that you think look like so much. Because you could be in the process of buying land and building and someone buys a Mercedes. To the world, because we don't know where your land is, we have no idea what you're doing. To the world, she looks like she's doing better because we are seeing her driving. And you look like you're stagnant because we don't see anything. And you look like you're stagnant because we don't see anything. And today I've used a lot of allegories. I've used a lot of allegories, but I think to make it sink a bit more, we have been using a lot of fruit. And you find someone, you said that the result will always come, which means that the emphasis should not be on the fruit. The emphasis should be on the seed, on the plant. So the answer also to the question is that put the emphasis on you, on growing you, on building you, other than on what the world sees. Because eventually the world will see.
It will.
Like the world rewards difference. That's a point. Either in the other way or the other way, the rewards are also whether negative or positive. But when you focus, imagine the other example I'd given of being 3 months later thinking you're going to harvest. You actually be shocked to realize that the seed you planted dried. Or maybe when it came out, a cow ate it or something. But when you show up every day, you are one, sure of the result because you have been there, you've seen it grow. But two, you're not excited. Like that growth kills that need to prove to the world. When the fruit, just a simple example, graduating from petroleum engineering school, from medical school, there are people oh my God, you are a petroleum engineer. Oh my God, you are a doctor. I want to be a doctor. And then you're like, yeah. Like the excitement you had. Calling yourself doctor in first year, dies along the way. And the death is not bad. It just kills you to the reward that comes with who you have become. To the enslavement. Yes, there are people in medicine. We always have a joke about a certain group of people that are also doctors. And we always say that whoever you hear saying, I am a doctor, belongs to that group. Because 5 years,
After 5 years, you're done.
the title is, it is, by
Yeah,
the way.
yeah.
But most doctors will always say they are doctors after they have said their names. If it is a professional space, my name is Kopsin Jomasi, I'm a doctor.
I'm a doctor.
And it's really not pride. It is
Yeah.
just in passing. You are. It's like, I don't have to say I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a woman. No, I am
Treat
a woman.
me.
That's me. So the process helps kill that thing where the Bible says that when riches increase, set not your heart on them.
Yes.
But when riches increase suddenly, you can't not set your heart on them because it is so strange. It's like buying a new shoe. You keep looking at your feet the whole time. Oh man.
Yes.
Until you get used to the shoe. It's still the same shoe. You meet people and they'll be like, oh, you have a beautiful shoe. And you're, oh, bossy, I'm putting on this shoe. So the process does a lot.
Yeah.
There are people, our pastor always says that there are people who can receive money and they die.
Oh,
They
yeah.
they receive 1 billion Ugandan shillings and they
That's
just
the end.
bury them because what is this? But by the time you start to have 1 billion Ugandan shillings on your account, something in you has died to that money
Yeah.
that you can now handle that money. You appearing like you have it
Yeah.
when you don't is it even looks bad. Like by the sometimes we see you and we know that you're acting. Like we just see you're like perhaps not. So to focus on the fruit, on the seed, to focus on the process. So there are many people that you see that you admire and they look like they came from nowhere.
Yeah.
But they have been there.
Yes.
Have you ever watched a song on YouTube and it's like so, popular, and then
Yes.
you go back to the same artist and you realize they have like 10 other
They were
songs.
there in
They were
2017.
there in 2017, but you did not know them.
Yeah.
And now you know them because of one song, and then you go back to their other songs. You're like, wait, there is
Yes.
this song too, there is this
Yeah.
song too. So the process for one person to post a video and post another and post another from 2017, and then you see them for the first time in 2025, but they have been there, consistent. And you want to post your song today and hit the whole world, and sometimes you can, but
Yeah.
sometimes the process requires that you actually consistently do the same thing, because when you hit what is required, the world will see you,
Yes.
but also it will see who you really are. It is not going to see who you want to be.
Yes.
So the fruit is inevitable. The fruit is inevitable. And most of the time, by the time the fruit comes, well, a mango tree is not very... the fruit always comes. And by the time the fruit comes, the farmer is ready for the fruit.
Yeah.
It is not shocking. They're not going to not sleep because the fruit is calm. They have gone through the process. A part of them can handle what it is. I was giving an example, I think I mentioned it in the last episode, of how I ran a campaign on Twitter by then, now X, about 4 years ago. And every time one post would go out there, I would feel like the whole world is seeing me. Like the pressure on social media was so much. My name was not there, my face was not there, as just behind the campaign. But it's as if people who read what I wrote, who are judging the English, maybe people are not understanding it. Maybe like the pressure was a lot. And now, fast forward, I'm here and my face is out there.
Yeah.
And I don't feel that kind of pressure that I was feeling that time. Because I have with time grown into the grace to be able to be on social media.
Yeah.
So that is the fruit. Every day has added to me.
Something.
I used not to watch videos of myself. Like if I would hear my sound being played anywhere, I would run. I'd be like, I don't want to watch that. Now
Yeah.
I sit through these episodes and I watch them
Yeah.
after recording. I'm like, oh, okay, this was nice. And I don't feel that ringing in my head of, maybe you smiled too wide, maybe you talked too loud, maybe, because with time I have grown into it. I have learned to say, well, I don't like how that top looked, but let's release the episode because we are doing this. Authenticity. You will never touch the world if you're a great copy of a great original.
Can't.
You just have to be yourself.
And you're kidding something. Just a one-liner. When you allow God to take you through the process, you die to the things. We've been using the language of death. I don't know if it's clear to everyone, but you are free. You're free from the thing. It's not driving your life. But so the one line that came to my mind is that the pressure for perfection kills you, while authenticity and growing authentically makes you dead to the things that you desire. It makes them they remain things rather than becoming gods and idols in your life. The funniest example I want to give before you go to the next question is that when we look back on our photos in high school, yeah, I don't know if I really even need to expound, but think about yourself at like 7 years old. Let me think about myself. Some of you were born out of your mother's wombs looking like you do now, but I had a big head, and my head, I still have I have a wonderful shaped head, but like I think like you remember our skirts in Mary Hills, like royal sky blue and like big and weird, like tucked in. Look back at those pictures and you're like, why?
But
Why is this me in this picture? But now, like you didn't do much to look like you do now. You've added like some lipstick, but as you grew, your body just grew into its shape, into its like things are now in the places they need to be. Let me even talk like about my brothers in high school. If you bring one of our friends are getting married, and sometimes they post their pictures from senior one, and you look at you're like, how is this man the same one? And they didn't need to do anything. All they did was eat, sleep, go to school, go to work. And now when they put on a shirt that is their size, you're like,
he has grown.
He's
a
this man is very good looking.
Someone's husband.
You're like, yeah. But it's like they weren't going through life saying, I must be handsome.
I must be tall.
I must be tall. They just went through life.
Yes.
Eating, drinking, sleeping, studying, finding out that pink looks good on them, or green or red. And now when they do those things, it wasn't that when they appear before you and you say, good looking. It's not like they woke up from their house and they purposefully went out to be good looking.
That they were good looking.
So you are at campus and you're about to kill yourself because when you see someone who is 30 and they are wearing a branded shirt and they don't care, they don't even know. My uncle the other day had a cup, a Stanley mug, and he didn't know it was a Stanley mug. And we were so sad because for him, he wanted a cup to drink tea in. And when he went to the shop, they said, this is a cup. And he picked it and went. And all he wanted is some tea. And at that point, he's able to pick a Stanley mug and not know it's a Stanley mug.
And afford
it. But you are at campus, you're a young girl, and you're about to die because you want those... You know the ones I'm talking about. You want a Stanley mug that is pink, and that is your goal in life. No. One day, they will gift you a Stanley mug, and it will just be another cup in your cupboard, and it will be okay.
And it is going to be just normal.
Yeah. I am saying it because right now, there's a time when my looks were like I felt like I wanna be that chick. And then by the grace of God, I went through a place where I was now just eating and growing. And
You
now
became.
this one I hope not. No, but like just like I'm just walking through life, and maybe or there are times when, for example, you walk out of your house, and honestly, you just woke up and you wore the clothes that you have in your house, but there's someone out there that feels like I want that, and for them it's the goal. But for you, it's the attire that you're wearing
you
to
just
go
wanted
to.
comfort.
You wanted comfort, but you know how to put earrings and a necklace together, and that's all it is. It's just a tool. It's just a daily routine. It's not the end goal.
Yes.
You've just woken up and you look beautiful,
Yes.
and that's it.
Like the example we had given of airplanes,
Yeah.
of there is someone who is actually, they're not showing up, they're not showing off. They
Yeah.
genuinely would rather board a plane from here to Rwanda
Yeah.
other than using a bus because they
Yes.
have a meeting. Like they actually
They
have
have
life.
back-to-back meetings, and I
Yes.
can't get on
And
a
they can
bus.
afford, or but you are selling your father's cow to be able to show
look.
that you
Yeah.
took a flight, yet you could even take a bus and do the exact
The
thing
same
you wanted to do.
Yeah.
So the people that you want to be, one, the people you want to be like, because sometimes the pressure again comes from what we are seeing. You know, there are people who are so themselves that the world admires them, yet it is hard to be yourself. Now I'm going to throw this question, and this is going to be our final question. How does someone who has been in the habit of putting on the image, looking perfect, is it possible for them to take steps back? Is it possible for them to now wake? Okay, someone has been, let me use a very good example for girls, putting on a balm.
Yeah.
Did you guys know you can wear like some of the people you think are you're admiring and comparing yourself to, and refusing to go to parties because they will be there because they look so good, are actually putting on excess things. And there is nothing wrong, by the way, with you putting on a balm shaper if you want it, but maybe you put on a balm shaper once,
And
and everyone really,
and maybe you met your boyfriend on that day, and Chica.
and you're waiting for him to discover to discover in marriage
and you're like,
that his children won't look like you
it's tough.
unless they are going to get balm shapers
Oh,
early. But yes, maybe like that's a perfect example. You put on one, you met this guy, and the guy likes you because of how you look. Or other ways, you started working in this place, and the first few days you were dressed a certain way. That's not who you are, but then you got too many compliments. That thing of compliments.
Yes.
Praise is one of the hardest things to die from.
Yes.
Yes, you got so many compliments, and now you are back in the place of, I can't do this anymore. Like you're worn out. What would you tell that person? What can they do to become themselves, to become authentic again? What does it take? Because I know there is a cost to it, but what does it take? Or what would you tell them?
I think I want to start in the place of a prayer that we sometimes pray at church after a tough sermon, which is God help us. It's a place where we need the help of God, because also I think something that a word we've been using perhaps a lot in this podcast is authenticity. But what really is authenticity? Being yourself.
Being who you are.
Yes, being who you are. And we asked each other a question earlier today, and we said, who are you? Yeah, who are you? And it seems like an easy question until you have to answer it. Who are you? You can say, I'm a doctor. No. Who are you? Yeah, who are you? Okay, it's part of who you are. Meantime, you can like. So we have like we cannot find out who we are because I believe part of like self-discovery is not something that has an end to it. God is infinite, and He now dwells in us, and in Him we live, we move, we have our being. Every day you are becoming. You are there's someone who you are today, and it's not possible without God. You like answering that question, who you are without God, is very hard. You will still define yourself by trends. Yeah. You define, Pompey has a line that says treasures are really trends. You will define yourself according to trends. Like you won't have your color, your best color today maybe you'll say it's black because Vogue has said black is back in trend. Then when it says it's green, you'll say it's green. So how do we step back from the pressure to look perfect? I would say God is helping us to discover who we are in Him. And that's not only touching ministry and your calling and your purpose in how you're serving the world. It's also the taking the time to know, who are you? Who am I when my friends are not around? What would I cook in this house if my friends were not coming to visit? What do I genuinely like to eat? Do I like using cutlery, or do I enjoy using my hands? And being intentional about just exploring, who are you? The minister,
do I like cake or do I like buns?
Yeah, sincerely, let's first talk about it. I like buns. Like I'm not feeling like pretty girls like cake or pretty girls like chocolate. I don't exactly enjoy chocolate. If you get it for me, I will eat it. But I'm not that girl who will pick chocolate in the supermarket. I am going to go and see, do they have soft buns? That's who I am. Like,
This segment is dedicated to someone.
yeah.
Yes.
Who are you? Because for example, you're going to a wedding, but what are your circumstances that month? Are you able to do makeup? Can you afford it that month? You are rich, you're wealthy. It hasn't changed in your identity, but at your bank balance, should you go and do makeup just because it's expected of you? Because again, we started from the place where we've said honestly, no one in the world is really looking at you. They'll glance at you and be like, that's if they're minding your business.
That's if they're minding your business.
Or if you've showed up and you look unwell physically, maybe someone will come and ask you, are you well? But really, people are not looking at us. We think they are. So to just step back and say and ask yourself, like self-discover, be self-aware. Know what are my triggers? What are the things that I am susceptible? Because in different areas of our lives, we've given so many examples. Maybe it is in academics, maybe in the village, I performed so well in my O-level, but in my A-level, I had significant challenges with school. And so every time someone met me and said, Anita is the brightest girl, ni manyangu Mary Hill, ni warukuwa singa bona, which means in Mary Hill, you're the one beating the entire class. I wasn't telling everyone my story, but I hope, but I feel like maybe there are times when I felt like I couldn't ask for help because you're the smart kid. Why are you asking for help when you're the one who is winning the entire class, you know? So being self-aware and saying, in this and this place, like, yeah, you knew me as such and such a person, but in this time of my life, I'm no longer that babe. I'm now someone who needs help with math. It hasn't made me less brilliant, but right now I need help with math. I need help with physics. Help me. When you met me last year, I was bawling hard. As that person, I was very generous. Now we're going through something. I need to be more careful. I need to spend differently. When you met me last year, we could go out to such and such places. Or you met me before I was born again. We used to go to different places. Now,
I can't
go to that place. Yeah, so self-awareness of saying, who am I?
Who was I yesterday?
Who
am
I
today?
Yeah. What are the things in me that can be easily triggered? What are the things in me that I feel should look perfect? When you know those things, then you are aware. You're able to catch yourself before you start lying.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's very beautiful. What you said of you get your phone and you look at Snapchat, and then you quickly look back at the other camera and say, no, this is who I am.
Yeah.
Because you know it is easy for you to be tempted into looking what Snapchat wants you to look like.
Yeah.
That cannot be overemphasized. When you're talking about weddings, I remembered also the place of pledges.
Yeah.
You have this person on the whole pledge list, there are 1 million, 1.5, 500. You sincerely can afford to give this person 50,000 from your money.
That month.
But
with joy in your heart.
With joy in your heart. But you need to prove. Komjisha has put 500. We were in the same class. 510,000 shillings. And then you make it 525. And you're going to go through so much. Sometimes you don't even fulfill the pledge. It looks bad on your name, or you go through so much to be able to prove to people. There is someone who wanted to get a loan to buy a car because their workmate had a car, and you're like, you're going to get a loan. You need 1,000 Ugandan shillings to come from your workplace to your home and back. That's 2K in a day. Why do you need a car? This person you want to be like would need about 5,000 from their place. They have a child, so for them driving is not even a luxury. It is a necessity because they can't be taking their child on borders all the time and all. The decision to drive was not out of to show you, it was out of the necessity regarding the time of life they were in. So what I would say to the person who has been living a fake life for this long is you just have to stop. You make the decision and say, I am not that person. For the first few days, you're going to receive a lot of what is happening. You look different. But with time, people are going to get used.
They move on.
When I was in high school, I used to look nice with cut hair. So my friends used to think that when it's time to plait hair, to keep hair, I would not look okay. Because I looked better with short hair. So I remember the place of, should I not? And then I remember someone telling me, if you look bad, eyes will get used to you. And then you will start looking okay.
Yes.
Like, it's like weight, for example.
Yeah.
When you are big, everyone is going to say, when you've had a certain weight all your life, people don't comment. Look, if you're big, they say you're big. If you're small, they say you're small. And then the day you gain weight, everyone say, you're gaining so much weight. Then when you lose, you're losing so much. Then when you lose and stay there, they'll get used to now that's how you are. Then when you gain back to your original size, they say, eyes take time to get used to any change. Sometimes the comments are
just observations.
So they are telling you have gained weight, and for your hearing, you're looking bad. You should lose weight. Then you lose. I remember that's that for another day. But when you lose weight, you meet someone. Are you okay? Are you sick? I thought you wanted me to lose weight.
They didn't want anything.
They were just.
So
be authentic. Like, wake up and say, I can't put on this bum anymore. I'm going to go with the way my behind is shaped by God. When I reach work, people are going to comment, perhaps. Maybe they are going to be cocoons discussing me. But eventually they will get used to the fact that that's just who I am. And then you will be free. If you've been using filters and you can never post a photo without a filter, wake up one day and post your photo. This is who you are. You're not going to change it. And then people will get used to the fact that the world is not paying so much attention to you as you think.
They are not.
They are not. So you're just keeping yourself in bondage to look something that you're not, and in the long run hurting one who you would become, because you're not working on that process to become what you should become. But two, you're hurting yourself. You're hurting, you're putting yourself on too much pressure. You're breaking down mentally. You are having mental health crisis because all your friends are brown and you're black, and you feel like, I need to be brown. That is just not okay. Yes, so what am I saying and what are we saying? Wake up one day and decide
You're a new creature.
that that is who you are. Finally, I'm going to give you a few seconds to give your parting shots, but also to lead someone out there who would like to receive Jesus Christ in their life as Lord and Savior. Like we were saying, you will not be authentic if you don't know who you are. You will not know who you are unless you carry an identity from the one who made you, and you can never really carry that unless you have received Him in your heart as your Lord and Savior. So if you're there and you feel like, I need this, for someone who is there, please.
Thank you so much, firstly, Mrs. Miguela, for having me on. It's been a wonderful time. I've learned a lot, and I believe that there are hearts healed, even my own, as we speak. And to someone out there, firstly, I want to say that you are loved. When God made you, He wasn't on pressure. You're not an accident. You are loved. He said, let us make man in our own image. And then He follows it up with Jesus. And He does that because it's so important to Him that you know how much there is for you in Him. And that was not possible with us, for us, after the fall of man, without the sacrifice of Jesus. And what that did for us is to bring us into the place where we are one with Him. So firstly, know that you are loved, and know that no one really has it all together. We are works in progress, very great works in progress. There is a phrase that has been ringing in my heart, maybe for so long, that the treasure is in earthen vessel. The vessel is earthen. The sureness of the earthenness of the vessel, or how earthen the vessel is. Have you ever seen a clay pot? Some of you have not seen a clay pot, but clay pots are not pretty. They are clay. They are brown and reddish on the surface. They have some small patterns, but that's all. That's what they look like on the surface. When you drop it, it breaks. But the Bible says the treasure is in earthen vessel, that the glory, I think the excellence of power should be of God and not of us. And so there is treasure in earthen vessel. The vessel is earthen. It has cracks, it has chips somewhere. You can be authentic in your career, but maybe you're not authentic in your relationship. But it's possible to be authentic in both. Maybe you're not authentic with your family. They don't know who you really are. But it's possible even there to begin to be authentic, to begin to be the father or the mother or the sister that you really are in your heart, and to get better. Authenticity, we're not saying that don't get better. So the treasure is in earthen vessel. Don't let the earthenness of the vessel convince you that there's no treasure in you. And to the person that wants to give your life to Jesus Christ, to receive the life of Christ, it's the best decision you can make. And I request you to pray with me, or to say this prayer after me. Say, Lord Jesus, today I have heard your word. I have come to know you, and I receive you as the Lord and Savior of my life. Thank you for your death on the cross and for being raised for my glory. I receive you today and I am born again. Use my life for your glory. Amen. You're born again.
The last thing that I would say for me is a scripture in Proverbs 12:9 in Message Version. It says, better to be ordinary and work for a living than act important and starve in the process. Hey! Let me repeat it. Better to be ordinary and work for a living than act important and starve in the process. Wow. Yes, so as usual, shout out to Creative Media Podcasts. And like you all know, should know, Creative Media does photography, videography, live stream, podcasts. You have no reason to have bad work for your wedding. Just reach out. But also, whoever you are, maybe you're around Bara, Western Uganda, even Kampala, or across the world, and you would like to record your podcast, you do not know where to start, the editing and all the work that needs to be done, reach out to us. We are going to get you a very, very good podcast, and we can do series, we can do one, whatever you want. Please reach out to us. We love you. Till next time, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
See you next year. Bye.